are looking at some of the detailing going into Fiero Red and Fiero Blue. Ronaldo, I got in contact with him and asked him to give a few more details on his car. And he told me he actually ordered the Rodney Dickman Fiero fuel tanks. For you Fiero guys out there, if you haven't seen them, take a look at them. They were amazing reproductions of the fuel tank. They look perfect in every way. But Ronaldo went a little bit further. Since one of his Fieros is red and blue, he actually went and painted his fuel tanks colors to match the car. So that's exactly what I'm doing on the model here. We have the Fiero Red chassis. He also inserted the body plugs are also going to be replaced with 3D printed plastic body plugs. Well, so you'll never have to worry about them rusting or rotting out. And there's the red gas tank and the red body plugs. This one here is Fiero Blue, and this one has the blue body plugs and a blue gas tank. Now, as we Fiero people know, these are the AC lines that run across the center on each side of the gas tank. They are covered in a rubber insulator. So what I did was I painted that with, to me, a rubber black, so that it would stand out and give a little more detail to look at under the chassis. This, to me, a rubber black, fantastic color. I love it. And I had done this previously and added the red tank afterwards, as I didn't find out about the tanks being specific colors until after I had already done this one in the standard gray Fiero tank color. So now that one is red and here's blue. So I just finished painting the AC lines. I airbrushed it, which is why all of this is masked off. So we're going to unwrap this one and take a look for the first time, you and me, to see how well this all came out. So excuse me while I do some unwrapping. Alright guys, and here we have both of our tanks. Now I am going to do a bit of touch-up paint on Fiero Blue here, as I did a little bit of overspray where when I painted the blue and it went to a couple of places I didn't want it to go. So that's going to require a little bit of cleaning up, but that should be no problem at all. And as you can see, we have our AC lines in the rubber black, which stands out from the semi-gloss black that I used to create the eggshell type color on these chassis when they were new. So now we have, not only do we have our engines for Fiero Blue with its blue distributor cap, and Fiero Red with its red distributor cap. Now we also have our chassis for each individual car, as they start to become much more individual as this project goes along, because there's quite a few differences between the two. So that's it as far as this goes. We're going to do a little more detail painting on the chassis to bring out a few more of the details here, and then we'll move on to the next thing. Okay guys, so here now you can see as the extra details have been painted. You can see in brass a lot of the fittings are done, and adds a bit more detail and a little more visual interest to the chassis. Alright guys, we're back on the build here. Now, we're still continuing with the interior work. This is our dashboard for Fiero Red. Now, Romaldo showed me that he has a aftermarket glove box. Those of us in the Fiero world know it as the Mike Good glove box, which is a really nice piece. and really complements the interior. Now, if I'm making his car and I'm adding all of these touches that make up his car, I'm going to be making the Mike Good glove box for this model. And this is what I'm going to do it. Taking a couple of pieces of styrene. I've already cut them out, done a little bit of measuring. And we're going to make it out of these two pieces right here. This is going to be the top, and this is going to be the front of the glove box. So let me just give you guys an idea of what that's going to look like. Now, this is just going to be a rough mock-up. It's going to go here. And the top of the glove box, wait, that goes this way, as I had to cut it to make it fit the circumference of, not circumference, but the angled cuts of the dash itself. So let me just put that on there. Got a little bit of sticky tap holding it in place. Let's just see. I'm going to put that right there to hold it in place. And then we are going to put the other piece. As you can see, the angled cut on the other part, that is to match the angle of the glove box where the air vents come out. And as you can see, the angle of the dash going this way, and then the angle of the air vents going this way. So I had to measure that out and cut the styrene to fit. And this is a rough mock-up of our result of the glove box. As you can see, it fits there within the curvature of the dash to give us a nice straight glove box that goes from air vent to center console. Now what we have to do is I have to engrave the panel lines for the glove box door. So that's what we're in the middle of doing now. Now to do that, I've got this engraving tool that I got from Amazon. It's a really neat tool. It comes with a bunch of extra blades and the tool, the Allen key for holding it in place, for holding the blades in place. It's not too expensive, less pricey than the Tamiya, and works pretty well. So what we're going to do now is we're going to inscribe the panel lines. I've already got them drawn out. Now I just have to have my ruler so I can make the straight cuts here. Well, not cuts, but just to engrave the lines. So we have right there. Whoops. We have to make sure we hold it straight, because we want the panel lines all to be perfectly straight. So we're just going to follow the ruler, which has a nice curve on the corner. So we're going to make the rounded corner, just like the real glove box has. Actually, we didn't get the other corner as rounded as we would like, or as I would like. I don't know why I keep saying we. So let me just do this and see if I can, let's get that to round off. Here we have the final product, the Mike Good glove box in the car. And once it's in the interior, As you can see here, it looks pretty good and is a pretty good copy of his original glove box. You can see the door that was engraved into the box itself, the doorknob, the knob for the door, which is made by just punching out a circle from a piece of sprue using my hole puncher. This is a really cool tool that I found that works really well for our hobby, for punching out small holes. And it's really made for punching holes in leather belts. Got it at Hobby Lobby, but it really does very well at punching out small circular discs when you need them. So there we go, guys. The glove box is done. We're going to send it to primer, see how it looks when it's all primed up, and if it melds right into the dashboard like the original. And I'll pull a picture of the original right over here so you guys can see what I'm talking about. Now we're going to get started to working on our seats. We've already got the rear of the seats filled in, and now we're going to take them to paint. And Romaldo is installing a custom black leather seat covers on his. So what we're going to do is we're going to try and simulate that. And I'm going to put a picture right here of the seat cover that he sent me a picture of, so I can show you guys what I'm planning on doing with the seat. Now if you look at it, you'll see that it has red stitching running across. Now that stitching is going to be, I'm going to try and emulate that as close as I can in this small size. Got a couple of ideas. The one that strikes to mind right now is using decals. I have these red striped decals from the old Porsche 914 kit. Now what I am doing is slicing these decals in very thin strips, and I'm going to use that to make the pinstripe on the seats. But first we have to get into the paint booth and get them painted with a semi-gloss black. We don't want to use a gloss black because we don't want a really high gloss on them, because then they'd look like your grandmother's couch covered in plastic. And we don't want that look. We want a semi-gloss sheen on them so that they would resemble real leather. And then after that, we're going to apply the decals. So we'll see how that comes out, and we'll be back with the finished result soon. I don't think you guys want to sit here watch me applying very, very thin pieces of strips of decals to these seats, because it's going to take a while, and it's going to require a lot of precision. So I don't think I'm going to be able to film that, but I'll be back with the finished results so you can see what I did. Alright guys, and here we have the finished product. I've applied all the decals, and you can see now it has the red pinstriping and the red striping across the seat bottom, similar to what's on the seat cover that he's going to put into his car. I know it's not exactly the same, but then again, making those little stitching marks in there would have been next to impossible. So here they are installed in the interior, and I think they look pretty good. I may do something to tone down the red just a little bit, but other than that, I'm happy with them. Okay guys, our interiors are moving ahead. We're going to be moving on to the second set of seats for Fiero Blue in the next episode. So we're going to leave it off here and get back to work on it. So I will see you on the next one. And remember, like, subscribe, give a thumbs up. If you're not subscribed, just hit that subscribe button. It's free and it really helps the channel out. So go ahead and do it. Why not? Anyway, we'll be back soon with the next installment of the interior build-up on the Fiero triple build. So I'll see you on the next one.